I do like Paw's line here. It's one of the better lines I think of the house being kind of tacky. Oh, change of focus. Depth of field, my friends. Depth of field. Very well done. If I don't know if that was artificial depth of field or if the G laser did that himself. Brilliant, brilliant choice to use the red shells. Before I even read the script, I even suggested I was like, we should use the blue shells. Now I'm Ricardo Montalban. I went from DeForest Kelly to Ricardo and Baron Harkonnen. I'm just all over the fucking map. You can also see the mustache falling off at points. Although I tried I think it was actually falling off right here on the right side, but you can't really see it. It was bite me, it's fun. Oh god, now I remember which part this is. Yeah, I'll get to this. um, where was I? I do wish I'd had more scenes with Linkara. In fact, I wish I had more scenes with everybody, but that's just me. The script, I think, is really brilliant. So, like, that's like it's just me saying, "Man, not in this movie, but in general, I wish I had more chance to act with these guys." But the comment there where Pause like, I forget what he's like. He's like, "Report," and he goes, "It's kind of tacky. He needs so and so." That's very Clue style. One of my favorite comedies is Clue, and it's very similar to that kind of humor. If you ever watch that, if you haven't seen it, watch it. Didn't like this scene. I This seemed kind of silly even for this movie, and even for the plot hole, it seems unlikely they would fall for this. It's very sometimes these characters act way stupider than they should, especially when critics like I'm going to call three random crew members and fucking Robotod comes in and I'm like really it's very I'm trying to think of what cartoon character acts like that where he's just like see don't you feel stupid sometimes. um, Although they did save that scene by they saying that does sound like Oprah. I was yeah. So sometimes I kind of I were I writing the script, I would have not have written the fact that the crew is so monumentally, colossally stupid. Although some of the characters, like Lupa's character, are at least some of the characters are aware of how idiotic some of this is. I don't know. Some people complain that it wasn't exactly clear what they were doing. Mickey had a lot of fun with that role because all of his lines, or not all of them, but a majority of his lines on the bridge involved him spinning around dramatically and saying, "Our shields are down," and stuff like that. Very Wrath of Khan. Oh, Star Trek acting! Stupid humans. That was a line, one of my favorite lines from Battlefield Earth, where Travolta is. I forget what scene it is. I think it's the one where they're trying to blow the dome. Also, one of the more famous lines from the movie. And he's like, Travolta's just kind of saying, "Oh, stupid humans." Um, just delivered so brilliantly. So the engines exploded, and he recorded a voicemail message right on the spot. Naturally. One thing, another thing people complained about a lot was that there's a lot of movie references in this movie. In fact, it basically goes from one uh, sci-fi movie scene into another. So it's this is Wrath of Khan. Next scene turns into Search for Spock, essentially, where I go kill one of the crew members. I don't care which one. The whole snob thing, of course, is kind of a mix between Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. Hand acting. Oh my god! Neckbeard. I'm sorry. I'm fixated on the neckbeard because I had so much. It's falling off halfway. Halfway. This is also one of my favorite lines where I say you have 60 seconds, and I do the Zod impression to his face. Yeah, that's a minute. Where where that is brilliant is that it's Spoony doing Travolta doing Turl, doing Doug uh, doing Zod. So it's like it's an impression 6 layers deep. It's fucking brilliant. You try. That's actually one of the harder things to do for a voice actor or an actor in general is doing an impression of someone doing an impression. It's weird. Sometimes one is asked to do that. I think this is Orlando doing the stabbing scene. We watched them do that for about 15 minutes, where he stabbed his rubber knife down at Phalis, who was just kind of ad-libbing scenes every time he turned his back. It it got to the point, yeah, it got to the point of Family Guy absurdity where I was like, really? But in this case, the Family Guy, there's times when you can torture a joke to the point where it's funny again, and I think this was one of them where it worked out. Although I'm not sure we're looking in the right place. I think eye lines kind of got crossed here, but um, plot hole. I shouldn't have said that. But now we're getting to the part where, yeah. Here comes the Shatnerian acting. Yeah, okay, that was something we included. There's Turl from Battlefield Earth, and then there's character in this one. His name is spelled differently, so he's clearly a different character. Yeah, now I'm Christopher Lloyd. I'm Travolta. I'm doing an impression of Travolta doing Christopher Lloyd doing the Klingon captain. Yeah, that's a minute. Brilliant. That's hard to do, folks. This is why I'm a pro. Now I'm doing Christopher Plummer doing Shakespeare. Look at the range on this guy. Fucking even I should have gotten an Oscar for this, or what is a BAFTA? Yeah, even though it's not a British production, BAFTA. But yeah, we called them Cyclowns. I think we only hear that word twice, and the Shatnerian acting just now was one of them. Look at this. Snob is shorter than Mars Girl. Look at this short motherfucker. There was a plot hole somewhere around here about the beaming two at a time. I can't remember. This is the part I did not like, and I don't think many people like this one. This is where I bury myself professionally. Um, this is entering the Judge Dredd sequence, or as I call it, the Judge Dredd sequence that never fucking ends. Really, I'm not sure why this was in the movie. Um, like I get the need for there to be like an action sequence where the critics get rescued, but it goes on and on and on. I think it was one of those things where he went to great expense to get the costume, and so motherfucker, we're gonna use it. But it goes on way too long. Um, it was a good costume. I grant you. Neckbeard coming off on both sides. Good one. Very good. There's another good moment between Zod and Turl that got made into a GIF file where we kind of look at each other and throw our hands up like, what? The first thing I kind of objected to with this scene is, okay, Jesus Christ, we get it, man. I just think he's always wanted to do this. he's always had this vision in his head, like, I always want to do fucking Judge Dredd and do this line. Yeah, this is so fucking good. Wait till the conversation kind of breaks off. If we had one, why would we need another one? See, well, yeah, we can only bring 2 back, and now 3 come at it. Look at the little loose hair, that little cowlick on the back of his head. Yeah. This scene just gets weird after a point where, like, he's shooting at the 3 troopers in the room, and it's, like, fucking ridiculous how he keeps missing, or how they keep... Like, what the fuck here? This isn't even, like, stormtrooper shooting. This is, like, he gets shot twice? Are you... What the fuck is... Like, even in terms of spoofing fucking action movie scenes and stormtroopers, I'm like, really? And also, they add machine gun effects to what's clearly a shotgun. So, yeah. And then we just keep going back and forth between shots like this. Here's where I would have stopped the scene. Right here. I would have gone, now you see me, now you don't. It doesn't work for a minute. He ducks behind the table. Like, after that, he ducks behind the table, goes, CR! And then he beams out. Like, just right now. Yeah, okay, beams out, he's back on the ship. Jesus Christ, is that so hard? I mean, we would have lost. There's a really, really great moment we would have lost with Angry Joe. There's a, yeah, this moment we would have lost. Yeah, where that was a great moment, but, well, yeah, the thing with this is so fucking good. Oh, there are a lot of guards. Lots. That line is really good. And we would have lost that. God, I love that line. Delivery's brilliant. So, like, and they actually did do a good, effect there where they replicate the troopers. And I actually saw, there's a tutorial on how to do that, where you kind of green screen, you green screen basically 1 or 2 guys, and then you can replicate them several times, and then have them all running through the field. It can work, and they do it really well in that one shot. But from here on, it's so obvious that it's just the same 3 guys running through the field. It is kind of sad. And then there's Klaatu. See, like, 3 guys. There was like a dozen of them, and they, like, even Joe's like, oh, there's hundreds out there. There's a lot. And it's always 3 guys. So, I don't know if they were in a, I know they were in a hurry. I know they were in a hurry. And I know Rob was working his ass, Rob and Doug were working their asses off to edit this. But, and maybe if they go on DVD, they'll add more guys here. But, for what it is here, it's actually, it's 3 guys, you know. So, and here's another scene where they're just shooting ineffectually. This scene goes on way too long, where he's punching guys one by one. 3 guys. You never see where the other guys are coming from. It just goes on and on. And I know I'm ripping on Doug here. It's honest to God, this is the one scene I would have slashed. Uh, and that's not a complaint against Doug or Rob as a writer or a director or whatever. I'm just saying this scene is terrible. And I'm going to stop saying that because I've been repeating myself for the last 10 minutes, which is how long this fucking scene goes. And we might have lost this scene, which is really fucking good, but I don't know. Because then we would have lost the Benzai dance, and that would have been a crime. So, I guess the length of this series is another thing I got to address, and I was talking about this briefly. Was the script? The script we got was huge, and I remember he was saying he was going to cut stuff out. Because that's always the way it goes, you know, you cut stuff out of a review. But I think at one point he was actually adding stuff, and I was like, really? And then there was a point on set where Doug's looking at the script, and he's like, he's trying to cut stuff because of time, naturally. And he kind of rubs his brow, and he's like, there's no way this is going to be a movie. It's going to be like 3 hours long or more. And he's like, you know, we might have to do this as like a miniseries. A miniseries is like a series of episodes with a finite run. And Rob and I kind of looked at each other like, duh. Well, like that's what I assumed it was going to be, was a miniseries, because it was like 220 pages long before rewrites. Oh God. The scene in Phantasmagoria 2 was better. I'm just saying. Go team. And he's like, yeah, this is gonna have to be a miniseries or something, and we're like, no shit. And yeah, this is the longest thing we've ever done, and I like it. But yeah, this would have been a lot shorter without Judge Dredd. And here we go with another scene of them shooting ineffectually and shooting and shooting and shooting. I almost want to say that was a reference to Dogma, where like Matt Damon is killing people like... Oh, no, it was Ben Affleck is killing people like crazy. I don't know. Beard, 20% on. It is a good costume. Another minor complaint I have is Doug and Rob do way too many of the peripheral voices. He really wanted that shot. He really, really wanted. He was asking all of us if we could do this shot where, if we could get people to disintegrate, but the gun would stay there and then drop to the ground like Wile E. Coyote kind of gravity. He finally got it, obviously. See, it's clearly Rob. And I really think it wouldn't have taken a minute to get some of the other producers to just kind of do a Stormtrooper voice. And again, they might. In DVD, they might. He really wanted that shot as well, where he kind of wanted to do that like 2 or 3 times, where I would appear, go, ha-ha, and then get shot at. It was a good bit, but like right there, scene could have been ended 10 minutes ago. Also a good gag where he teleports away, but teleports into the exact same place. I'm just saying, for those of you aspiring filmmakers out there, I believe the general rule of thumb for a screenplay in screenplay format is about a minute per page, you know, give or take. It's usually 1 or 2 minutes per page, and so like when you get handed a script that's like 240 pages long, you're in for a long haul. And I say give or take because I remember watching the bonus features for Fellowship of the Ring, And that whole scene in Khazad-dûm where they're on the stairs and the stairs collapse and they have to throw the hobbits across. That scene lasts like 4 minutes and it's like one line on the page. It was a good bit. But yeah, so we shall never speak of this part again. It's not too late, Doug. For the special edition, you can cut the scene, please.